Hello, America East fans. I'm Dani Klupenger here with your America East Alumni Network Close-Up, and we are very lucky because today we have Jackie Kelly joining us. And in case you need a little refresher about Jackie Kelly, she was a 2015 graduate from Hartford. She was a softball player, two-time captain, four-year player, and now she's gone on to have a tremendous career in athletics. So, Jackie, we're really excited to pick your brain.
Really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, okay, I want to start with just what you're doing now before we go back in time and get your journey to where you are now. So let's start with you're at Rutgers. What is your job title and what exactly do you do day to day?
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm the Director of Student Athlete Wellness, Outreach, and Inclusion within our Leadership Development and Strategic Partnerships unit. So it's our student athlete development kind of hub within our department. And we are responsible for 650 plus student athletes, so all of our varsity student athletes in multiple pillar areas. But the ones that I specifically concentrate on is our personal enhancement pillar, which includes some mental health and wellness programming with our sports psychologist, also some diversity and inclusion programming, our freshman course, and then also moving into the space of community service and really seeing how to involve and make impacts with relationship building in the community, and making that a staple for us in not only Piscataway, New Brunswick, but the whole state of New Jersey. And then moving on, also career development. So a big piece of what our office does is provide career services. So resume review, one-on-one mock interviewing, all different things like that. So I currently have 10 teams. And then this year I'm lucky enough to serve as the SAC advisor for our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So super excited to be working more closely with our student athletes, especially in that leadership group.
Yeah, I was a SAC co-president. I love to hear that. We had a lot of fun on SAC. But it sounds like you are a part of developing the whole, making a student athlete a whole human being. You know, there's the athletic side that everybody knows about, but you're rounding out the human, right? You've got the human interest piece, you've got them reaching out into the community, and then you've also got their career. But this is a very bizarre time. So as you're talking about mental health, I can only imagine how busy you've been during this COVID time where maybe some people had a little bit less to do. Have you had more to do?
So the bulk of our work with sports psychology lands in the hands of our sports psychologists and their team. But what I'm able to do is help facilitate some student initiatives and different things like that. So during the pandemic, we were able to have a speaker series of some of our alums who were professional athletes, because obviously it wasn't just, affecting college athletes, it was affecting the whole world around us, but really being able to hear from pros that may have their season maybe put on hold in the WNBA, how life was in the bubble for them, for the MLB, right? What that looked like for them anticipating their season and how it was being shortened. So we had some of our alums come back and talk and be able to share their experience on how they were working out in their basement gym, right? And they were quarantined. And I think our student athletes really benefited from being able to hear that in that space, that it wasn't just them in college, that it affected our top level of athletes all over the world.
Yeah, wow. I'm sure that messaging was really important. I'm sure some of us just in the working world could have benefited from hearing some of those talks. But I want to jump back in time a little bit because you had a great first internship or job with the NCAA straight out of college. How did you attack that for those people that are still in college right now and maybe are hoping to make a big leap into the career world after school? Did you use networking? What was it that got you to the NCAA?
I think networking is the key for everything that you do, and to not forget that while you're playing at a school right now, you have teammates, right, that will go on to be things better than or greater than the shortstop that's next to you for me, or the pitcher on your field, right? They're going into different careers. They're going to have networks, but utilizing your coaches' networks and your administrators, your athletic director, having conversations with those, that's really what led me to be able to apply to the internship, as a conversation with some of our administration and just talking about it. Heard it was a great opportunity, was lucky enough to be presented with that opportunity and that chance to kind of pursue what you said, that holistic area of sport, and kind of see this 20,000 foot view from the NCAA and what it was. Because as a student athlete, I just, I knew I was an NCAA Division I student athlete, but outside of there, I did not know it was in Indianapolis, right? The headquarters. It was a big change for me. I'm from New York City, so moving out to the Midwest was different for me, but really, really utilizing networks that you have and the resources that you have on campus gave me the opportunity to be successful in that internship.
And I'm sure this is something that you tell your student athletes all the time. So maybe this is just boring for you to share with us, but I am curious, what attributes as a student athlete have you found to be successful and helpful in the career world?
Perseverance, and really being able to share that through an interview, right, or on your resume. And I say perseverance because it's just, especially in the sport of softball and baseball, there's a lot of failure that happens. On the hitting side, so I may have 3 out of 10 hits, right, is a Hall of Famer or somewhere that's pretty close, right, batting that 300. So looking in the perspective, you're not going to get every job that you apply for. You're not going to get an interview every single time, but having a plan just like you do in sport and kind of utilizing that in the career space to know and persevere through those challenges and express that you've been there before, right? You've went through losses in games. You've went through wins. There's ups and downs, and you've worked with a team that was from all different places, diverse backgrounds. So really highlighting that in the career space to transition to the working world is really helpful.
It's such a special thing that you're doing for student athletes. I'm so glad that this is such a important role now at so many schools. I don't know if a whole lot of schools had this when I was in college, and I think it's really impressive what you're doing for these student athletes. So I appreciate you letting me pick your brain. If people can reach out to you, are you okay with that? Is LinkedIn the best for that for you?
Yes, that sounds great. You can find me on LinkedIn.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Jackie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.